Okay, welcome to This Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here today because we're taking a deep, focused dive into a really fascinating conversation. We're going to break down a recent Computer World interview with Eric Birnbaum. He's the Director of Product Management for Google Sheets. And we're looking closely at how Google plans to fundamentally reinvent the spreadsheet using artificial intelligence. If you use spreadsheets, and let's be real, almost all of us do, this is going to completely change how you view your daily workflow.
But before we get into all the brilliant solutions on the horizon, let me ask you a quick question. Do you speak the rigid language of spreadsheet formulas? I mean, be honest. For a huge majority of us knowledge workers, the manual data entry, that complex syntax, the sheer terror of breaking a cell reference, it's incredibly frustrating, right? The classic spreadsheet has historically acted as this intimidating gatekeeper. If you didn't know the exact language, you just couldn't unlock the value of the data sitting right in front of you.
So let's jump right into Section 1, the technical tax of data.
It's kind of wild to think about, but VisiCalc, literally the very first electronic spreadsheet, launched nearly 5 decades ago. And while the software has obviously evolved since then, it left us with a massive legacy problem. Eric Birnbaum calls this the technical tax. Basically, this is the heavy toll we pay in time and energy just trying to get our data ready to use. It's those hours you spend understanding, sourcing, analyzing, and visualizing information before you even get to start your actual strategic work. We end up spending way too much time wrestling with formatting, cleaning up messy data, and troubleshooting errors, rather than, making the crucial strategic decisions our jobs actually require.
Historically, data professionals have spent an estimated 80% of their time on mechanical groundwork, leaving only 20% for strategic decision-making. I mean, that is completely backward. Birnbaum's vision, and really Google's whole goal with Gemini and Sheets, is to entirely flip this 80-20 ratio. By offloading that manual, error-prone data work to an AI, the groundwork is essentially handled for you. This allows us humans to step back and focus entirely on what we're good at, asking the high-value questions and making the important judgment calls.
Which brings us to Section 2, flipping the 80-20 ratio.
Now, Google isn't just theorizing about flipping this ratio. They're actively building it right now. AI is stepping in as a bridge, letting you use plain, everyday language instead of complex syntax. And wow, the impact is massive. According to an August 2025 survey, 89% of knowledge workers using these AI features in Sheets report saving at least an hour a week. That is real, tangible time being handed right back to employees who no longer have to slog through that technical tax we just talked about.
And it's not even just about saving time. An equally energetic stat from that exact same survey reveals that 88% of these users actually feel more confident in their data analysis skills thanks to AI. This is huge. It means the spreadsheet is no longer a gatekeeper. By simply describing what they want in plain English, people who literally used to dread opening a data grid are now feeling incredibly empowered to just do the analysis themselves without having to wait around for a specialized data analyst.
So, what exactly are these users doing with all that reclaimed time and newfound confidence? Well, today, they're generating entire spreadsheets and charts from single prompts, and they're analyzing data much, much faster. But honestly, the absolute game changer here is fixing broken formulas. The ability of the Gemini model to explain complex formulas and troubleshoot exactly what went wrong is just a massive relief for the average worker, especially when you're trying to decipher some giant spreadsheet you inherited from someone else.
Moving right along to Section 3, the deliberate verification loop.
Okay, we definitely have to address the elephant in the room here. When you introduce AI into critical business documents, issues like trust, hallucinations, and data corruption are completely top of mind. And that leads perfectly into a critical question posed during the Computer World interview. How confident can businesses really be when relying on AI for data analysis? It's a totally natural and valid skepticism. After all, one misplaced comma or a broken cell reference can silently corrupt an entire financial model. Are we really going to just let an AI run wild with our most important numbers?
Now, what's really interesting about this is how Google directly answers that fear. They aren't designing a rogue agent. They're building a collaborative co-pilot through what they call a deliberate verification loop. It's a highly transparent process. First, the AI lays out a plain language plan of what it intends to do. Then, you, the user, get to review and approve that plan. Only then does the AI actually execute the manipulation, and it finishes up with a clear summary of exactly what it did. The whole idea is that you are always in the driver's seat.
This whole philosophy is firmly cemented by this fantastic quote from Eric Birnbaum. He says, "There is no path to have AI replacing analysts.
I think AI is giving analysts more time back to actually do the more valuable parts of their job. It's incredibly reassuring, right? The AI is an empowering partner, not a replacement. As Birnbaum points out, human error exists with or without AI, but having this digital co-pilot working alongside you, explaining its steps, well, that actually reduces the likelihood of making those undetected, catastrophic mistakes.
And finally, let's dive into Section 4, the future of spreadsheets. Google actually has a deeply visionary roadmap for Gemini and Sheets, going way, way beyond simply formatting cells or fixing errors. They're testing some mind-blowing new capabilities, including a new Sheets Canvas alpha and upcoming connectors to major platforms like HubSpot, Salesforce, and MailChimp. The Gemini agent in Sheets isn't just looking at the data you type in anymore, it's going to perform complex end-to-end workflows by pulling in external data from across your entire tech stack. Basically, the spreadsheet is evolving to become a centralized front-end hub for your business operations. And this brilliantly illustrates that we are witnessing a complete paradigm shift today. Legacy spreadsheets were, as Birnbaum puts it, static containers where data goes to rest. You put the numbers in and they just sit there. But AI spreadsheets, they're becoming dynamic, live, localized software applications. Very soon, users will be able to build things like custom CRMs, Kanban boards for sales pipelines, or supply chain dashboards in mere seconds. And the best part, they'll update in real time as the underlying data changes.
So if we had to summarize the core takeaway of this entire explainer, it's absolutely this. AI transforms the passive grid of numbers into a collaborative ecosystem. Google isn't just slapping a chatbot onto a tool invented in the 1970s. They are fundamentally shifting the spreadsheet from a static, technical burden into an active, empowering software platform that literally anyone can use to do incredible things.
Which leaves us with this final provocative question to chew on. When the spreadsheet does the grunt work for you, how will you spend your reclaimed time? I really hope this explainer has inspired you to rethink your own workflow, drop the fear of complex formulas, and get excited to explore these new AI capabilities for yourself. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.